It's the You Name It podcast. Yes, we're here right now with you wherever you're at.
Jerry.
What is that, a witch?
I don't know.
Is that a witch noise?
It's cold as a witch's tit in December.
I am Jerry. That's Davin.
Or witch's
made
tit in
that
a
weird
brass
noise.
bra, whichever you prefer.
Little known fact, Davin.
What?
Witches are allergic to brass.
Oh,
so
they
that's
are.
just never been a thing. People
Plus, I've
say
never-
shit like that. Cracks me up that people still say that. Something you heard in the 70s.
never
Cold
seen a
in the
brass-
witch's tit in a brass bra today, isn't it, Davin? That's so
There's never
funny.
been a brass bra. No one's ever
Yeah,
made a
because I'm
fucking brass.
picturing a witch's tit right inside of a brass bra, because brass is going to be cold when it's cold outside.
Ah, so are steel toe boots. Get over it.
What does that have to do with anything?
Not a goddamn thing. No, it was just something I heard on the construction
Oh,
site.
I see. Your plan for this week's episode is to just shout out shit that doesn't make any difference and
Words,
relate to anything we're
Jerry.
talking about.
They're
Huh?
words.
They're
Words.
just words. Just keep pumping some words out. Hi, everybody. I know. We apologize. It's been a while. Been a number of weeks since the last one. And, you're probably sick of hearing shit like that. But let me tell you something. This pandemic crap isn't helping anybody out. And unlike most people who find they have too much time on their hands, it's the opposite for Davin and I. And I'll tell you why.
Okay, here we go.
Because we are working as essential people.
Yes.
And we're out on construction sites working every single goddamn day. And it's cold and it's miserable. On top of that, we're exposed to all kinds of different people and sicknesses happen.
Yes.
So what kicked this break off was a couple of weeks of horrible sickness on my end, which turned out not to be the vid, but it's probably something worse. It's probably something that's going to eventually kill me because it was like the death. Well, actually, the first week was like the death flu type thing, but then the second one was waiting for COVID results.
Didn't you say at one point that you were throwing up so much in the bathroom that if Lisa would have walked in the bathroom, you would have had her call an ambulance?
Absolutely. 3 o'clock. It was actually 3 o'clock in the morning. I was laying in the bed after I, go and puke. Pardon me, people, and then trying to get from the bathroom in our bedroom, trying to get to the bed, legs not working, can't walk, almost fall down. Very, very extreme horribleness. And if she would have poked her head in, I would have said, "Call the ambulance," for real. Because it's that bad. And I feel like it happens every 2 months. I don't know what it is. All our doctor friends out there, maybe you can tell us why somebody would get the death flu every 2 months. But next time when it's happening, I'm just going to go to the hospital.
Yeah.
Say, find me Dr. House and figure this shit out. That's what you need. So that happened. On top of the sickness part, the time crunch happens because our friend Davin has 3 jobs now.
Yeah.
Trying to make ends meet.
Oh, Christ.
So that cuts into some free time when you don't have any because you have 3 jobs.
Yeah.
It is 3 right now, right?
It is 3.
Regular job, driving for Instacart, and driving for DoorDash. Do you have any other driving things? Are you going to do any Ubers or anything?
I have a baking thing, but that's kind of a side hustle. It's
It
not
is
really
sort
a
of
job.
something you probably shouldn't be advertising on your podcast either.
Oh, yep.
Yep, baking. I do a lot of baking. I
Yeah.
haven't done any recently, but I will be doing some baking sometime this week or weekend. Now that we're doing the show on time, I might do it this week.
So after the show, I'm going to go Instacarting. And we'll have to do a little bit on Instacarting one of these days, but it's definitely interesting.
Yeah,
What
you know
people
what?
eat.
It sounds fun. You know why? Because the name sounds like what it isn't.
No.
So when you say, I'm going to go Instacarting, I get these visions of you like in a go-kart, driving around, having fun.
Yeah.
And it's not that.
No, it's shopping for other people.
Yep.
I can tell you the 2 worst ones are when you go to a store that you're not familiar with. And I did one at H Mart. Have you ever heard of H Mart, Jerry?
I don't know. I feel like I've heard something. Does it just have a giant H on it, right? The building.
Right. It's right next to Aldi in Troy. It's an Asian market. Nothing is in English.
H Mart.
So
Yeah, I see a picture of H Mart. Maybe they're only. It could be just regional though, so people out there might not know what the hell you're talking about.
But I'm trying to match up pictures on my phone of noodles to noodles that are on the shelf, and not knowing the grocery store and being the only white American in the whole store, and no one speaks
Jumping
English.
to a lot of conclusions there, my friend. You're doing what you always do. You're slipping into. You're just not politically correct at all.
No. Well, 14 items took me probably the length of time it would take a normal person to shop for maybe 45 items.
Yeah. But, really, the thing that you got to avoid is assuming that people aren't Americans.
No,
You
but
have no fucking idea who's American and who isn't. Did you walk through and you say, "Hey, can I see your citizenship papers?"
No. Luckily, I grabbed a grocery guy that kind of helped me. I'd show him the picture, and he would walk me to the aisle, and
Okay, during this explanation of how this guy helped you, can you do me a favor and avoid doing a stereotypical voice for the guy? Because that's what I'm picturing is coming anyway.
Yeah, it might.
Going to be a stereotypical voice, but I don't think that you'd be able to determine, because this is a Korean market.
Yes.
So I don't know if you'd know how to do a full Korean accent.
Well, none of them spoke, so they just kind of looked at me funny.
They knew you weren't the one to talk to.
No.
You're the one to avoid. Did you have your... Now, you told me this, and I don't know if it's true or not, but when you go as an Instacart driver, you said that you had to wear a giant costume of a shopping bag. Were you wearing that?
Yeah. I was dressed
Maybe
like
they
a giant,
knew that you were an Instacart guy, so they knew to leave you alone. Or
a green shopping bag with a big orange carrot on it.
Yes, that's what you wear.
No, that was
the
a weird
job's not demeaning enough.
No, that was a weird thing. When I got my whole Instacart package, they gave me like a lanyard with a card that has a carrot on it, and it's green and it's their logo. It does nothing. It means nothing. You can't scan it. You can't. There's no RFID chip. It's just a fucking badge.
It's an identification thing. It should help the people in the store know that you're more important than a regular customer.
Yeah,
right.
right.
If that's possible, everybody's the same importance. But I think Instacart would like them to look at those and give you special treatment, like put him at the front of the line because he's working like we are.
Well, here's an idea for Instacart. Convince some of these stores like Kroger and Aldi to have a separate lane for Instacart people.
I think that's a great idea. If there was enough frequency of Instacart shoppers, I think that would make a lot of sense.
Well, part of it is they force us to use the manned lanes. You can't self-checkout using Instacart.
Yeah, and I wonder why.
It's so stupid.
Like, do you think that they're actually trying to make it so that two people are looking at the order? Like trying to get free labor out of the checkout people for some reason?
I don't know.
It really
don't
doesn't
think
make
they've
any
reached that
difference.
point yet,
Oh, maybe it's that when you work for them, they give you like a little weirdo credit card, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe only the cashier people can utilize that credit card, that you can't swipe it on your own. Because they have to like scan it, right?
Well, it makes no sense because when you go to check out, it comes up with, hey, it's an online payment, and it comes up with a barcode. You scan the barcode, and then you can bring your register stuff in, and you never have to swipe the card.
Yeah.
If it's a credit card,
so you think it would work in a self-checkout situation?
Right. If it's a credit card or a debit, it comes up with a barcode, which is a customer code, or it says, whatever, and then you go to the next part, and it verifies it, and gives you another barcode to scan, and then you can check out, and it tells you either check out with using a debit and this PIN number or credit. So I don't see why I need a cashier to do that.
I don't either.
When I could scan those two barcodes and get on with my life.
Right. I'm going to have a drink of this right now. Are you drinking right now?
No. Are we going to drink our Stella?
No, I don't have that with me. I thought you already drank your Stella.
No, I've been saving it.
Oh, I thought you told me you broke down and drank it because you were sick of waiting for the
No,
show to
no. I
redo
still have
Dark
that one.
Stella. Let me put that on our show notes for next time.
The Stella.
Because today we're going to catch up on a lot of stuff, everybody.
Yeah, what's the Stella called
let's
anyway?
see.
The Midnight Edition or something like that? I should break out the bottle and see. But anyway, we're going to
I'm just
review
going to
the
put Stella Dark.
Hang on a second.
I
I'll
think
grab
it
the
says
bottle and
dark
read
on
it
it,
to you.
doesn't it? I'm sorry. What was that?
Hang on.
Hang on. Oh, you're looking for it? All
It
right, Davin's
is
looking in his garage.
Stella Artois Midnight Lager. Limited Edition Premium Dark Lager.
I knew dark was in there somewhere.
5.4% alcohol. So we'll have to
Well-
crack that next show.
Yeah, and you're going to have to read it again for all those listeners.
That's fine.
So let's get some stuff out of the way. Let's get some housekeeping out of the way right now, everybody.
Okay.
All right, so on top of the sorry,
Uh-huh.
we are going to try and continue to do this every week, but keep in mind that this show is making us absolutely zero money, actually costing us money. So we're not asking for any cash, but, if we ever were to be monetized, then you could guarantee it would be on schedule all the time. But it's really easy to, slough off sometimes when it gets busy, when you're not getting paid for it.
That, and when you're not in a good mood all day, the last thing you want to do is get on the air and try to pretend to be in a good mood.
Yeah. There's been a lot of not good mood shit happening in our lives lately, so it is really a little bit difficult when it's not your job. Makes you think about how, real radio DJ people can keep that energy level, if their dog died or something.
Oh,
You know?
speaking of real bad days. Okay.
Oh, hang on. I'll breeze through this. So, one of the things that we have to apologize for is my lack of understanding of why I can't get this board to work with my computer playback system so that we can have some live audio. That leads to sorry, listener Jimmy, because I can't put your stuff on yet. Hopefully next week when I figure out what the problem is.
And the sound effects.
And I think
aren't
it's really
working.
just about what was that?
Sound effects aren't coming through, or all our little
Yeah,
drops.
and I think what it really is that this board that I use, everybody, is an old analog board. I do use it so I can do the mix minus stuff. That means anything to the people we know who know audio. It's so that I can have a real situation, allegedly. But it stopped working on the computer sends, so I just have to figure that out. Anyway, because listener Jimmy has been giving us all kinds of stuff that I haven't, and I wanted to say this too, I haven't listened to it, but I'll tell you what it is, Davin, you'll like this.
Okay.
So in the last couple of weeks, since I was sick, he's got audio clips that he sent of himself that I haven't listened to because I want to capture them and I want them to be fresh, so I didn't want to listen to them and stuff. He sent the Dennis Quaid freakout video.
Okay.
Have you heard that one?
No.
I guess he freaks out and whatever, swears, so we might be visiting that. He's got a video, says Marge in charge who keeps farting.
Okay.
So a farting old lady.
Perfect.
Looks like shopping cart smashing people who are fighting with shopping carts. This one I was really interested in. It's a video of some guy who is reclaiming the armrest on a plane. So I wanted to see it. And then there's 1, 2, 3, 4 more of what appears to be him doing an impression, I think, of somebody. But he's bowing out of it, saying that he can't figure out what it's supposed to sound like. Because he says he sounds Irish or spicy in the mix with the Cockney accent. So I don't know what he's saying, but I didn't want to listen to it. Just so I know you listen, Jimmy. So that's why I didn't respond to that.
Sounds
Then
like
there's
Jimmy
a mystery.
wants to be our production assistant.
Yeah, maybe we have to hire him. Maybe you can get his board to work because he's a musician. But he's got another strange one that may or may not be for the show. It looks like an old Alice Cooper on the Tomorrow Show with Tom Snyder from 1981. Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with some of this, Jimmy. Is some of this stuff going to be a Uniroyal tire? Is that what it's going to mean to us?
You never know. You never know.
Like the guy at work today who listens, who wanted us to talk about communism again. There's nothing to talk about with communism. He knows. He was laughing. But you mentioned that, Davin. You said, oh, should we do the Uniroyal tire too?
Yeah, fun topics that last about 30 seconds, and you're like, okay, I'm over it. But then again, lots of our topics are like that, so I don't know why I'm dogging them.
Yeah, exactly. Congratulations to listener Sarah, who is recently engaged.
Oh,
like all the whole listening audience is like, why do we need to know that? We don't know who Sarah is. Well, she's our listener, and she's engaged, so good luck with that.
Oh, thank God we don't have call-ins. We could talk some sense into her.
I want call-ins. That's going to be the best thing ever if we ever can, get to the point where this has a budget.
Right.
Totally have call-ins and everybody can have fun. Because what we would be doing is something like this. Sarah, I'd like for you to get some good marriage advice. So let's go to an expert on marriage. Davin, what do you think about marriage?
Well, you see.
Yes. You've had one marriage, right, Davin?
Yes, just one.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
I'm on my second. So
yeah.
This one seems to be working out so far.
You
never know.
You never know.
Never know.
Sometimes you come in first place, and sometimes you come in fourth.
That's right.
And that's my marriage advice.
Davin Christensen, expert in marriage, states this week on television, says his advice is sometimes come in first, sometimes you come in fourth.
See, the problem is I don't listen to my own advice. And
yeah,
that's
rarely do people do that. Yeah.
Well, about 2 weeks ago, the Dogecoin shot up, and I don't know if our listeners remember us talking about Dogecoin, and I was way into it. Well, unfortunately,
let's do the quick what radio people should do.
It's a cryptocurrency.
Dogecoin is a cryptocurrency. It started off as a joke. Had a picture of a dog on it. It was memed up like crazy.
Yep.
But now it seems to be, it's still useless. There's no real use for this cryptocurrency.
People used it for tipping and stuff like that, but little bits. And
well,
it was
nobody
so
accepts
cheap.
it. That's the thing. It doesn't have any real purpose still right now. But Musk seems to think it's the future.
Yeah. No, I had.
Anyway, so it's a cryptocurrency, and 2 years ago, right, you bought a bunch of it, correct?
Yeah, I had 1.8 million Dogecoin.
Yep. That you bought at.
My average was .00028. It's now up to 8 cents a share. I would have made $144,000. But I sold it 26 weeks earlier because it wasn't doing anything.
Are you saying that you sold it 26 weeks ago?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, if you could have only waited 26 weeks. You never know. And you didn't not take your own advice because you would have had to tell somebody else to save it forever. So you didn't tell anybody that. You just
no, I actually talked one of the guys that we work with, his name's Frank. I talked him into getting into it, and he was having fun with it. And when I sold, I said, "Man, I'm getting out." And he's like, "Oh, I don't know." And then he didn't get out, and it dropped back down again. Well, Frank now has $38,000 from like $1,000 investment.
Right. But what I'm saying is you didn't say to Frank, hold on to that.
No.
You should hold on to that. So none of this makes you like some sort of, you didn't make any mistakes. You do what everybody does. And You went through life not knowing, you know?
Yeah, but it's hard when you're talking about that kind of coin, that kind of money.
Yeah, it's just that it wasn't. It's like stocks and everything. You can't see the fucking future.
Right.
So at that day when you sold it, you weren't aware.
I made a profit
jump
that
up.
day. So
yeah, I remember when you told me you sold it that you made more than what you bought it for.
Right, and I used the profit to put a down payment on my car. So,
I made $30 on it this week so far. $30 whole dollars.
I made a couple
enough
grand,
to
but not
fill up my car with
144
gas.
grand.
Not 144 grand, that's for sure. I didn't want to get too far away from your job as a door dasher because I realized something about getting carry out. Let's not blame it on DoorDash, what I'm going to say. Let's just say you get carry out, right?
Yep.
So my new thought is that if you like a sandwich with light something,
Right.
and you're getting carry out, order it without that item. That way it'll be perfect.
It's a good point because they always
Get
fuck
it?
that up.
It's like, I'd like to have that turkey sandwich with light mayo. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to order it without mayo, and they'll put just enough on there to piss me off.
Yep.
So that's the way to do it, everyone. Omit the item. They'll put it on anyway.
Yep. Just to piss you off.
Yeah, so I'm using reverse psychology on carry-out people. I don't know about you, but in my real life, my carry-out orders and delivery orders are fucked up way more than I've ever heard anybody's. It's almost like I've cursed, and it doesn't matter.
Well, I can tell you one thing, Jerry. It's not the driver that's delivering
No, it's
it
not,
to
and I found that out because we did the good DoorDash review last show. When the DoorDash explained to me the drivers don't really have anything to do with that.
Like
They just
for
pick
instance,
up a bag.
Yeah, it'll tell us to check the items for all these sauces and stuff, but the bag is sealed. I'm not breaking open a sealed bag during COVID to look to see if you have your Buffalo Wild Wing sauce and your blue cheese dressing and 2 side of ranches and a sesame oil garlic. No.
You just made me think of something
What?
just now about how that might be happening. Because DoorDash on the customer service told me themselves that the dashers are not supposed to be going into the bags at all.
Right.
So when you said that you saw check to make sure the sauces are there, I wonder if that's not the note from the extra comment from the person who ordered it.
It could
because
be.
DoorDash is like, no, you don't do that. So if that person is telling you to do that, fuck them. Fuck them.
Yeah. No,
'Cause
I'm
you
not
don't
going through
want-
the bag. I don't want them putting straws in the drinks. Shit like that. I don't want to
Yeah.
be responsible for any of that bullshit.
That's what I'm thinking.
If
that
you
was
want
the,
packets
comment.
of ketchup, I'm not going to lose my tip because the fucking yo-yo at McDonald's didn't put fucking ketchup in the bag.
So what are you saying about people that work at McDonald's?
I'm just saying. Don't put me on fries. I can't make no money on fries. You got to put me on a register.
All right, let's get as far away from that voice as we can right now. I don't know what you're trying to do. Are you trying to get us whatever they call
trouble.
it, doxed? Canceled and doxed? Stop it. Got to use a different kind of voice for that. So if you like a sandwich with light something, it's still not working, is it? Just
No,
order it without it. It'll be perfect.
It's just wrong.
Speaking of food items,
Uh-huh.
this is the dumbest thing that I've seen in a while. SodaStream, you're aware of that particular product, my friend?
Yes, I am.
I have one of them. And
Yeah,
I
you
thought
gave me
this
your
was
old one. I've never used it.
Oh, yeah, because you could have made like gin and tonic or whatever. I just use it to carbonate the water, so I make soda water. Anyway, their new advertising scheme is so stupid. Guess who their new endorsement person is?
Michael Bublé.
Exactly. How obvious is that? How stupid is that? I'm Mike Bubbly.
I was just guessing.
Yep. I'm Mike Bubbly. Order some bubbly water. I'm Michael Bublé.
Oh boy.
I like that guy's music. Have you heard his music?
Whenever he was on American Idol or whatever he was on, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't really notice because at one point we had a little gathering at my house, months and months, might even been pre-COVID, and we had what we call garage beer.
Yeah.
And somebody said, "Let's listen to Michael Bublé." So we put on one of these things, and it was really good. The guy was good. So sue me. I like bubbly.
Who was that other Michael guy that was supposedly good?
Myers.
No,
Killing.
the singer. What's his name?
Michael Bolton.
Michael Bolton. That's the one.
Are you actually doing that? Like, first of all, I have to ask if you're familiar with Michael Bublé's music because you're old.
Yep.
And now we're bringing up Michael Bolton references because of his hair.
Yeah, but
I don't
thought
know.
he was
It's crazy.
great too.
What do you want to do? Do you want to get these hanging stories out of the way for the celebrities now that we're talking about a celebrity? Or do you have something else you want to do first?
We also did the robbery one.
That's retail theft.
Retail
We'll have
theft,
to.
yeah.
I don't know if we should. I don't know. I don't want to rush through the celebrity story, but what do you think people are waiting for?
Let's do the celebrity story. Why not?
Because it could be quick. Because we were for a little while there doing like a celebrity story each week.
Yeah.
And what we mean by that is our own personal experiences with these celebrities.
Right.
Not something that we heard before. Not Hugh Jackman in the park or whatever.
Right.
It happened to us.
Right.
So what we have on the table today for today's celebrity experience is an Oprah story and a Ted Nugent story. Who wants to go first?
Go for it with your Ted.
Ted Nugent. So I can't remember. Maybe you guys could respond and send an email or go on the Facebook page for the You Name It podcast or something and let me know if you remember hearing about me driving his famous Bronco. So I'm not going to talk about that one because that's a good story, but I think I might have already done that.
Yes, you did.
The one that I wanted to remember for everybody was when I was working on the Surviving Nugent VH1 show. Mm-hmm. And so I was there for, 4 days or something, shooting this pilot for that. At one point, by the way, super nice guy. Super duper nice guy. This Ted Nugent guy. I know a lot of people, he's controversial. He's loud. He says things people don't like or they really like, whatever way it is. I found him to be a super nice guy. He was like one of my uncles. And, like a hillbilly uncle in a way. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Did you ever work with him, Davin?
No, I did not.
Yeah, so I always had this impression he was going to be crazy and loud and rude or something. No, he was super nice. And he cooked wild boar for us, too. Brought out a platter of wild boar. Wanted to make sure everybody was comfortable all the time. Okay. He did say some weird shit, though. He said, if you see anything around the property, because we were at his house, see anything around the property that you think might be garbage, don't throw it away because it probably isn't. Which is funny. And then he walked around and said, if anybody here is not from Michigan, don't throw your cans away because in Michigan we can take them back for
so
10 cents each.
Yeah.
I think it was 10 cents each rather than recycling. I don't think Nugent gives a shit about recycling.
No.
He's that guy. He made that girl cry who was a animal rights, like I'm not going to wear leather kind of person, Mm-hmm. I don't wear any clothing that's derived from animals. And he said, well, you know how many animals died for your sweaters? It's not leather. It doesn't matter. The field that they grew that cotton in, they killed hundreds or thousands of ground animals so that they wouldn't eat the crops. You know how many ground animals died for that? And she started crying. Like, what the hell, man? It's harsh. Anyway, in one of the dumb efforts to make it into an exciting show, they decided, for some reason, that they were going to have Ted Nugent shoot people with paintball hunt people with paintball guns.
This is the Hunger
So
Games.
he got on a horse. So he's on a horse, and they basically just go like hide and seek. All these contestants run away and hide somewhere, and his job is to go out on his horse and find them and shoot them. So
Great gig.
it was really weird, you know. It's a strange concept.
I'm going to shoot millennials today.
That's kind of what it would. Now he'd probably have a lot more fun right now.
Yeah.
Get a bunch of like liberals that he would hate and shoot them with a paintball gun. Well, he's running this horse all over the place. I was in the woods. This day I was with the audio gear, you know, trying to capture the audio. So me and the cameraman are getting shots of him on his horse running through the woods. And thwack! I looked down, shot me. I got shot by Ted Nugent, everyone.
Why did he shoot you?
I don't know. I think he kind of liked me because we joked around and stuff.
Right.
Remember, because I'd have the audio gear on, and then he would like pick up his lavalier microphone that's hooked to his collar, and he would like burp into it. He'd go like, "You hear that sound, guy? That's for you." You know, like burp and fart, and then laugh. You like that one sound, guy? So I think he's just messing around. He shot me right in the audio pack, though. Well, I'm glad it didn't hit, because those things can hurt, right? I'm glad it didn't hit me in the face or something. But looking down, and there's yellow paint all over me.
Hey, sound guy, Jerry. Yeah. Did you like that?
Did you just fart?
Yep.
Did you put the microphone by your asshole?
Yes, I did.
Well, I guess if you're going to do it right, there you go.
We don't
So
have
that was
a
fun.
mix board, so
Yeah, I got shot by Ted Nugent, so now I can put that in the title.
okay, cool.
I wish I could figure out a way to phrase that to where it actually seemed like it was a dangerous situation, but it really wasn't.
I was shot by Ted Nugent.
Yeah, if I put Ted Nugent shot me, that wouldn't be good. So you're
Well,
right.
don't you have
Probably
a
I was shot by. What?
Don't you have a photo of yourself hanging in the back of a truck with a bunch of dead deer, like you were game that he killed?
I have almost. He had these racks in his pole barn that had dead deer hanging off of them. Like he'd go out hunt and then he'd hang them up, you know, and slit them open, that kind of thing. So I grabbed him. I told him I wanted to get a picture, and I walked him over to that area, and he was like, "What are you doing?" He was all weirded out about it because I go, "Well, let's go over here," and I grabbed a ladder and I put it next to his stand. It was like a swing set thing, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. They were hanging from that, so I grabbed the ladder and I climbed up to hang upside down next to his dead deer. I have that picture. So he's standing next to me, and I'm one of the dead deer on his back.
You should make that the background photo for this episode.
I think I will. That's a great idea. He did not like that. At first, when I was getting up on the ladder, he's like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 what are you doing?" And I think he was worried for liability. Like if I climbed a ladder and fell, I could sue him or something. Because you got to be when you're a celebrity like that. But once I calmed him down and said, "Hang on, you're going to love this," he still didn't get it. I'm not quite understanding how he didn't get it while I was climbing up there. But I just put my legs and hung upside down, and then he was so overjoyed about that picture. So when you guys see the thumbnail picture we'll put up, his expression is actual joy because he's like, "No way, no one's ever done that before. You're a madman. This is fantastic." He was all over that. He thought that was the greatest thing ever.
Nice.
And I got called a madman by the Motor City Madman, which I liked. Anyway, here's to you, Ted Nugent. You used to have the country in a stranglehold with your beautiful music. But now, nobody's doing anything because they've got COVID scratch fever.
Yep.
I found out why I'm itching all the time.
Oh, why is that?
I have itchy arms and an itchy stomach.
Okay. Is that from the vid?
No. That's from drywall dust, I'm told by a drywaller. He said almost everybody has a reaction of some sort to drywall dust. Don't worry about it. That's what it is.
Okay.
So, any construction workers out there, tell us if that's true or not.
Oh, and we also found out that drywall dust is the only thing that stops the sticky shit that they use to glue down the carpet.
That's true. Blue liquid that the semi-liquid that carpet sticks to. Those squares of carpet we're talking about.
Yep, they stick forever.
Yeah, wow. You know what? Gosh. We got about 10 minutes. Should we even go into the retail theft stories or push that?
Now let's push that, and I'll do my Oprah story, and we can move on.
Yeah, let's go to let's hear about Oprah. Let's hope maybe we'll get a new title out of that. Maybe your Oprah story will have a better title than I was shot by Ted Nugent.
Well, I used to drive limos. I don't know if the listeners all realize that, but I used to work at a limo service that did a lot of the high-end clientele, the Ritz-Carlton, theaters, all kinds of
Did the
celebrities.
people call, like, just out of curiosity, did the management of these people call and organize it, or was it mostly organized through, like, the hotels they were staying at and stuff?
Some were from the concierge that we knew in the hotels, but we also had affiliations with a lot of the big limo services out of New York and LA. So the TV that had the TV studio accounts and stuff like that. So if they had a celebrity, they would just call the regular limo service that they always use, and they would then book it through us as their affiliate.
Nice.
And you have to meet all kinds of standards and stuff like that. Like we had to have so many armed drivers, like ex-police officers and stuff like that, on our crew for some of them. Because like we drove King Fahd of Saudi Arabia. We've driven presidential candidates and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Sir
Gotta
Elton
do
John.
that. Did you have to learn how to not talk about shit like you do on this show?
Oh, I didn't say shit back then, God. I was just a scared college kid. So I opened up a little bit to some of them.
Yeah, I mean, really, you're not supposed to. I was just curious if did they warn you? Did your boss go, all right, if you're going to drive these people around, shut the fuck up. We don't want to hear anything from you.
No, I worked at other limo services prior, and you kind of know the routine. And
yeah,
you and I have both been around celebrities, so you know kind of what you can get away with and what you can't, and who wants to be social and who doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, you have to read that situation, that's for sure. But we got the speech. When you're in broadcast video, you're going to go out for one of your first Entertainment Tonight gigs or MTV or whatever to see a celebrity, to interview them. You do get the speech. You get I don't want you to talk to that person at all.
Right.
Don't try and get your picture taken with them. Don't make a big deal out of anything.
Yeah.
So they warn you about that because they don't like that.
Like Bill Cosby was upset because I wasn't an African-American driver. He likes to employ 100% African-American employees.
Okay.
At the time. And I showed up.
He was also upset that you weren't a female.
Probably.
Because he already had his special drink made up for you.
Yeah, so things like that.
What was he using? Was he using that Jackson stuff? That what's it called? It starts with an H.
Hennessy?
No, not the drug I'm talking about. The one that people would take. Like Michael Jackson took that. That's what he died on because he took it to go to sleep.
Oh, I don't know.
I forgot what it's called. Big strong drug that puts people out. Date rape drug.
Oh, okay.
Davin. Speaking of date rape, Davin told me that it's been a long time since he's had a date. So what he does now is he
rapes himself.
No, he takes the date rape drug and lays it down somewhere and hopes.
And prays that I get found. Yeah. It's a little cold for that, Jerry.
Right. In the bar, you're just in the corner, passed out, hoping to get date raped.
Waking up by
not
a
making
dumpster
light of
somewhere.
date rape, everybody. Just making a joke about Davin not having anything going on right now.
So on that note,
Oh, let's go back to Oprah before I get in trouble.
yeah, so we got a call in, and I go pick this guy up at the airport, and he is on a mission, and this guy is a big bouncer looking guy. Sits in the front of the limo with me, clipboard, pad of paper, and we are driving all around the city of Detroit. We're going from the airport. Okay, I need you to take me here.
And you don't know what's going on, right?
No, I have no clue. All I know is I got this guy for like a whole week. So I drive him, and he's like, okay, well, we're going to go down to the Stroh River place. Take me there. And I start taking him there. He goes, stop. He goes, go back to the airport. I forgot something. You go back to the airport.
Okay.
And he's like, okay, now take me a different route there. I'm like, okay. He goes, we're going to come up with 3 routes for every place I'm going to go. And I need you to remember these. 3 different ways
quiz.
in and out of every location. I'm like, well, who the fuck is this guy?
Right.
And I know
Secret
it's going to be a
Service?
celebrity at some point. Because later in the week, I've got a pickup at the airport, and he's coming back in town. So he's the advanced crew. And I'm guessing he was former Secret Service or something like that. So we do all these different routes, A, B, and C. And he's got them all printed out on paper when he comes back in for the real trip. And come to find out, Oprah is going to do a show on gang violence at the Fox Theater in downtown Detroit. So she's interviewing the Crips and the Bloods and the Chicago gangland people, and there's some LA gangland people coming to town, and it's all going to be recorded live, but she's doing it from the city of Detroit when we had like the highest crime rate at the time and all this other stuff. So security was huge. Well, Oprah gets to town. She's coming into land, and she lands at City Airport, which is not even one of the airports we went to. So he throws me off completely. I'm on my way to Detroit Metro Airport to get her.
Gotta make sure you're not going to attack somebody.
And I get a call from my boss saying, turn around, go to City Airport. Here's the tag number on the plane, and it's coming into this hangar. I'm like, okay. So I had to hustle around, get over there, pick her up, take her to the Stroh River Place, which is not a well-known
what is that for the listeners?
hotel.
What is a Stroh River Place?
It's a hotel that's on the riverfront.
Okay.
But like most celebrities either stay at the Townsend Hotel in Birmingham or the Ritz-Carlton or...
Don't tell everybody that. You're giving away the secrets.
Well, some of them aren't around anymore. Like the Ritz-Carlton closed. They're not there anymore. It's a different hotel chain now. So that's pretty much where they stay. So that's the well-known places. Well, this is off the beaten path. So she is going completely incognito. Well, on my way to work the next day, after dropping her off at the hotel, I've got the whole itinerary where I know I've got to get her to the Fox Theater by this time. She does a show.
Yeah.
Then
well,
I
how
take her
was she
here.
on the drive?
What was that?
I think you skipped over the part where I saw Oprah, and she was very nice and said hello to me.
Oh,
Or
I
did
was
she just
all. It
jump
was
in?
all like getting. He gets out of the car, opens the door for her. She gets in, closes the door. Boom, we go. Drop her off. Boom, I'm gone. Okay, I dropped her off at the hotel. Now
She
I'm
put
not
the
picking
little
up.
window up in between you guys?
He put it up since he was riding in the
Okay.
front seat with me. He would put it up or bring it down whenever.
So that's why he was buffering between you and her. Yeah.
Yep. And then there was a morning show, well known in Detroit, JJ and the Morning Crew. I think it was at the time it was 94.7 WCSX.
Yes,
And
for local people, they'd remember that for sure.
and he was doing a stalking Oprah. So he was going to give $10,000 to anyone's charity who called in and could tell him where Oprah was staying.
Oh, so he's attempting to be a shock jock.
Yeah. So what happened was I mentioned this to her security that this may pose a problem because I know you're concerned with all these different routes in and out, but you may have people trying to follow us back to the hotel to win this $10,000 charity prize.
That's how you do your job, too. Kudos to you, Davin.
So he
bringing
goes,
that
well,
up.
what was the name of the DJ and the radio station? And he called the radio station and got a hold of the afternoon DJ who knew nothing about the morning show's
Right.
broadcast.
It's not their job to know any of that shit.
And hung up on him. So the next morning, I'm driving in to pick Oprah up for her first day of 5 shows at the Fox Theater. And I said to the guy, well, did you get a hold of JJ and the Morning Crew? He's like, no, they hung up on me. I said, well, it might still be a problem. I said, he's on the air right now. He goes, oh, he's on the air right now? Hang on 1 second.
Yeah.
Oprah hands her the phone, dials the radio station's number. And Oprah does a full-on impromptu interview with JJ and the Morning Crew and then claims the $10,000 for Oprah with Angels and donates it to her own charity.
Ah.
And totally nullifies any of the people having to follow us and everything. After dropping her off.
Did he know that was the gig was the you tell me where she's at and I'll donate to your charity was the whole gig, right? That's
Right.
what he's trying to do. So did he know that? You told him that, you're saying?
Yes, I told him that.
Okay, yeah. I didn't know if he got it during the conversation with JJ or whatever.
So it worked out great. I mean, the end of the whole week, everything went smooth. Dropped her at the airport. She tipped on top of the automatic tip, which is great. Really nice lady, friendly. Didn't say a whole lot, but smiled a lot. Was very professional.
Yeah, was she good in bed?
I didn't sleep with her, no, unfortunately.
Oh, okay. You didn't sleep with that particular
No,
celebrity.
my name's not Stedman.
You don't have Stedman's cash either, do you?
No, I don't.
Or life or anything, happiness, any of that stuff.
Stedman's Dogecoin.
So probably wasn't a lot of interaction with Oprah.
No.
I like the charity scam story. That's pretty good, too.
Yeah, Oprah's Angels.
Force it into her own one.
Yep. So,
But she was basically, I've been in these situations, too, where they really don't want, they're just going about their business.
Right.
They're not even trying to do the whole, thank you for, driving me around because it's so hard for you to do that at your job as a limo driver, trying to be super nice and shit.
yeah, and some of them you wouldn't expect it, and they just come out of the blue. And like I had Madame Lalique.
I don't know who Madame Lalique is.
Okay, there's Waterford Crystal, there's some other type of crystal, and then there's Lalique Crystal. She's a crystal designer from France.
Okay.
And she was coming to town. Anyone that purchased at, I believe it was Neiman Marcus or Saks Fifth Avenue, one of the high ends, we drove a lot of the designers and stuff.
Right.
She had a trunk show, and if you purchased or brought in one of your $10,000 crystal vases, she would autograph it for you.
That's nice.
So when I dropped her off at the airport, her interpreter said, Madame Lalique wishes to give you something. Hold out your hand.
And was she good in bed?
I didn't sleep with her.
Okay.
So I held out my hand, and she puts this little velvet bag that has something in it. And I'm thinking, ooh, this is like gold coins or something, because it felt like
Right.
that kind of weight.
Gold doubloons.
I said to the interpreter, tell Madame Lalique thank you, and anytime she comes to America, she's welcome or whatever. I don't know what I said, but go back to the limo, and I open up the little bag, and there's a little crystal fish. And on the bottom, she autographed it.
You have a Madame Lalique crystal fish.
And she only signs things that are over $10,000. So I got that going for me when I die.
Oh, you think that might be worth $10,000?
No, it sells for like $120, $130.
But with an autograph.
But with an autograph, you never know.
You never know. Sometimes you come in first.
Sometimes you come in fourth.
Fourth place. Wow, that show right there. We're over.
Yep.
So we are going to have to do the sorry, listener Adam. We're going to have to do the retail theft stories next time. By that, we mean things that you may have done as a young person while you worked in retail. So if anybody has any of them, because listener Adam sent in his, anybody can send in their, I worked at this store and I scammed them out of this by doing this to younameitpodcast@gmail.com.
Yep.
Or on the Facebook thing. And then we'll read your stories. That would be fun. You guys get up. Come on, do it. Jimmy, I know you probably have something. Sarah, you must have had something.
You guys are all thieves.
Anybody out there? Zach? I'm just trying to think of anybody I know that listens to the show that we know. Baby Daddy?
Baby Daddy. There you go.
All right, everybody. Thank you for listening to this week's episode of the You Name It podcast. And we're going to keep trying to do this every week again.
Yep.
Until it makes us money and we can quit our jobs.
Multiple jobs.
Quit our multiple jobs. Right. Say that thing, Davin.
Pop a wheelie, guys.